You're watching KLTX, Channel 15, serving the city of Lufkin.
Okay. Great.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to December's First Friday. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Brian Sear with Commercial Bank of Texas. I'm the incoming chairman for the Chamber of Commerce. Terry is off someplace trying to finalize or finish up a series of animals that he's been hunting, so wish him luck. Oop, just woke up. Okay, first of all, I'd like to ask Reverend Jerome Brimage to come up here and give us the invitation.
It's an exciting time of year, and there's so many fabulous things that are happening. It's what makes this community a fabulous community. I want to share with you that since 1985, First United Methodist Church has been offering a gift to the community, and that's an evening in Old Bethlehem, and that's tonight and tomorrow night from 6 to 8. Many of you have been before. If you haven't, it's free to get in. It's an incredible experience for children and grandchildren alike. We partner with Abundant Life, and so we'd love for you to be part of that. I got a rumor on my way up here. I haven't confirmed the rumor. We do a lot of ministry, and one of those ministries, we feed people and those kind of things. There was a rumor that we fed a fox some of our chickens for tonight, but we think we've replaced them. So I hope that's not a new feeding program we're doing. Let's pray. Oh God, we give you thanks for this day and the opportunity to be in this incredible community where we get a chance to support one another, where we get a chance to live in an incredible life. God, especially during this time of year and this season, may we come together in unity. Your word says in Romans, let our love be genuine. May we cling to what is good, and may we be devoted to one another in genuine, authentic love for one another as we celebrate. God, we ask that you'd be with us in our meeting, in our eating, and in our fellowship. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Brimage. Always good to have you here. Okay, first off, I'd like to welcome some of our new members. And as you can see, our group is a lot better than Facebook. We actually get to sit down, eat, and fellowship together. So thank you for joining the chamber. If you would, please stand and wave your hand so everybody can recognize you. We have, as new members, Shepherd Street Yoga. Are you here? Huntington Family Dental.
She's cleaning teeth.
Cleaning teeth. Audiological Services. The new owners. Junior Achievement USA. Robert Brewer. Hey. Hi, thank you, Robert. The only one that didn't have lunch plans. We're glad you joined us. First Christian Church. Premier Nationwide Lending. There it is. And the agency, Farrell Real Estate Group. Good, super. Give everybody an applause. We really appreciate the new members. We have really done well this year. The Chamber Group, under Tara's leadership, has grown the Chamber investors tremendously this year. We have... the membership, we look at it each month as far as the dropped and adds, and every month consistently she's done better at adding members than dropping them.
Donna.
And yeah, we want to give a lot of credit to Donna. She hustles if she's here. Thank you, Donna. Now I'm going to, let's see here. And right here, Tara has a reminder for me just to remind you to get involved, which I kind of did. Facebook's a great place to get your business out there, but it's even better to show up here, eat lunch. Somebody can put your face to the name. You get to meet people, shake their hand, talk to them. It's a great place to get involved. We have lots of events, not just the first Friday. There's business after fives. There's opportunities if you want to let somebody know at the chamber that you'd like to get more involved, either by joining some of the breakfast groups, joining us for the board meetings. I mean, they're open meetings, so you can find out what's going on with the chamber. Lots of good things, and we appreciate your investment in the chamber. Now I'd like to turn it over to Tara for our presentation, And from all the purple over here at this table, I kind of got a prelude of what's going to happen.
Thanks, Brian. We also want to thank Lufkin Coca-Cola. Thank you so much for continuing to be our First Friday sponsor. Would you help me thank Lynn and her team? We're excited to have Ms. Torres here today to give an update. Ms. Torres began her career with Lufkin ISD at Lufkin High School, where she taught students for 27 years. She then took on a leadership role at the high school as the associate principal. From there, she moved into administration as the assistant superintendent and most recently deputy superintendent, where she served since 2006. Ms. Torres has been a member of the Lufkin City Council since 1999, and she's the current president of the Deep East Texas Council of Governments, where she has been on the board since 2001. She's a member, and that's quite a few things, so if you ever can't find her, she's at one of these. She's a member of the Lufkin 4B Economic Development Corporation, the City of Lufkin Finance Committee, the City of Lufkin Tree Board, the Kurth Memorial Library Board, the Angelina County Appraisal District Board, Chamber of Commerce Board, Museum of East Texas Education Committee, and the STEM Advisory Committee at Stephen F. Austin State University. She's quite busy. Ms. Torres is married to Pablo Torres, who is a retired principal from Coston, and they have 2 adult children and have 5 grandchildren. Would you please help me welcome Ms. Torres?
Thank you. Luckily, I got to be the past president of the DETCOG board, so that was a good thing. You know, most of my audiences are usually 16 and sassy, and so you're a little bit different. Although looking around the room, I can also say that I taught you when you were 16 and sassy, several of you in the room, but we won't dwell on that. I have been at Lufkin ISD for 44 years. It's the only place that I worked in my adult life, and I'm privileged to be able to continue to serve. Although I do tell people that my greatest fear is that at some point, you know, we talk a lot in cabinet and in Core 5, that we all have a shelf life, and I, more than others, my greatest fear is to become the Stephen Hawking of Lufkin ISD and to be hooked to wire somewhere in a room where people come and ask me questions and I type out the answers on my see and spell and ask them, please don't open the 3rd drawer of the filing cabinet, or definitely not that sealed envelope, because you don't want to know what's in there. But I have populated the room with some friendly faces. You'll see my most of my cabinet here. There are 5 board members present, and I do want to acknowledge them. Scott Skelton, our board president, is here. Don Muehlbach, our board vice president. We have Christy Gay, Hall Henderson, and Matt Knight, who are representing the board. I also have some other friends in the room. You know, one of the things that is very unique about Angelina County is that we meet as 6 school districts in Angelina County monthly. We actually met yesterday, and contrary to what happens around the state, we actually like each other, and we're on text groups together, and we're always consulting each other. So David and Donnie in the back, thank you. We also have our Stubblefield principal here, Jeff, so glad to see you. There is one little table back here that could be considered hecklers, but we'll, they know who they are, but anyway, it's always a privilege to speak to you about all the good things that are going on in Lufkin ISD. Our motto this year, or our theme, is Choose Lufkin ISD. And so you see that there. You've seen it hopefully all around town, and we'll continue to see it this school year. This is our mission and our beliefs. You know, one of the things and the fortunate things about being in a school is that you get the opportunity to interact with all students in your school and all different abilities. And we cherish that, and we believe that everybody who walks through our doors can learn and can leave better and be prepared for the world of work. So this is our mission and belief. Just at a glance, I thought you'd be interested in some facts and figures. We graduated last year, 486 graduates. We have about a little over 7,000 students, 15 campuses. Last year, 100% of our students were selected and enrolled, were accepted into college or the military. So they went on to post-secondary opportunities, either at the junior college, four-year universities. Some went Ivy League and left the state. But that's a tremendous accomplishment, is to have 100% of your kids have somewhere place to go. One of the least known facts, I would say, is that Lufkin ISD employs 1,300 employees, and that's a lot. There's around 600 teachers, and beyond that, we have anywhere, that's your bus drivers, your custodians, your cafeteria workers, and anybody else that works for Lufkin ISD, which makes us one of the largest employers in the county. Here's our student population. I think some people are surprised at how diverse we are. Our Hispanic population is growing leaps and bounds. And then we have the federal government years ago came up with an interesting category of 2 or more races. And we see that growing quite a bit, Asian, African American, and white. Our student enrollment, just so you know, you sometimes hear us talk about economically disadvantaged. Right now, our district is 76.9% economically disadvantaged. That means they qualify for free and reduced lunch. This year, we went to the community eligibility program, which means in our schools, because we meet this criteria and this economically disadvantaged percentage is so high, all of our children can eat breakfast and lunch regardless of whether or not they filled out the form. And I think next year you're going to see that number grow significantly, because what we find is when you're a high school student, you're least likely to fill out that application and seek help because it's more noticed. So this way, everybody's eating, and you don't know who's on free and reduced lunch and who isn't. And so that's a great thing, I think, for our community. Our at-risk numbers, we're a little over close to 62%. There are 14 indicators of at-risk, and I won't tell you all of those 14. We added a new one this year. A student can be identified at risk if at any time during their lifetime one of their parents has been incarcerated. That's also free and reduced lunch. It's whether or not they've progressed with their cohort of students, whether they've passed the state assessments, whether they've ever been in foster care, that type of thing. So there are 14 criteria to do that. We have a large bilingual education population. Our career and technology is right around 24%, and you'll see our special ed services a little under 11%. We hear a lot about special ed and whether or not the state of Texas had a quota for that. I'm here to tell you that we're a regional provider for all services in special ed. We bring people in our deaf education program as far away as Trinity and other places. We also handle residential facilities. So our number may be a little higher than that because, again, we're a regional draw to do that. Let's talk a little bit about the bonds because I think that's of most interest to those of you in the room. We did have a groundbreaking on our first project. We passed a $75 million bond in 2018 in May. And this was our first groundbreaking. It happened on October the 25th at a football game. We were able to amass quite a bit of purple in that picture. We're very proud of that. Building the multipurpose facility, or the gym, at the high school campus, and they are going great guns at that right now. They have moved earth and dirt and are about to pour a parking lot to do that, but we're very proud of that. If you have a student in Lufkin High School, or you have to drop your 9th grader who doesn't drive yet, you have experienced a little bit of traffic rerouting. The building is actually being built at the end of the stadium. So when you see that red line go and that thing of trees and that oval driveway that used to go all the way around the stadium, that will be replaced with the multipurpose facility. It'll actually be about 6 feet behind the Pactron, if you are familiar with that. One of the things we're most proud of, and the board and I were very proud to see, here's a list of local vendors who won the bids for the multipurpose facility, and the total for that is 3.8 million right now. Now, that figure, we expect it to go up because you'd be amazed at how many other vendors might have gotten the bid, but guess what? They buy their supplies from Lufkin. They may be close or whatever, but they buy things from Lufkin, and so that figure will go up. And again, that's just on one project alone. And you can see the people who won the bid for that project right there. Our next project, or one of the next projects, will be the construction of the new middle school, where the middle school currently is. We expect that to go out for bid at the end of January and the first part of February. So my plea to local vendors is that's about a $60 million project. Total is what we set aside in the bond for that. We don't know what it will come in at, but that's a 3-year to a 3.5-year project, and hopefully local vendors will come forward and actually win the bid on that, because that's a great opportunity to keep your dollars home, and it's a great opportunity to have 3 years to 3.5 years of work right here without going anywhere else. This is one of the entrances to the new Lufkin Middle School, as by the architect Courtney Kelly with Goodwin Lassiter Strong is currently working on that. And here's our baseball and softball complex. You heard a little bit about it in the paper. What we discovered is that, if you're a coach or you're a principal, it's very, very rare in the school business for you to have the luxury of designing your own facility that you're actually going to coach and work in. That doesn't happen in the school business. We passed the bond in 2018. Our last bond before that was 2007, and before that it was 1995. So it doesn't occur very often in Lufkin. What we discovered with our baseball and softball facility was that our eyes were a little bit bigger than our budget. So we've gone back to the drawing board to probably make some cuts on that and to bring that in under budget. Right now, new plans are being drawn for our reductions, and those will go out for bid again at the end of December. You see the softball facility, the baseball facility, 2 new tennis courts, and where you see the circle and that other building, that is actually where the gym that we just talked about will be. One of the things that we'll be doing coming in February is we'll be selling the rest of the bonds that the voters of Lufkin approved. We sold $40 million in the summer of 2018. We sold no bonds in 2019. We just invested that $40 million and began to use it for some of those projects. And now we will sell the remaining bonds, or some portion of that. You have to worry about arbitrage and all of that, but we will sell those in February. What will happen then is your 2019 taxes, you were able as a taxpayer in Lufkin to experience the tax compression from the legislature, and we'll sell bonds in 2020, and hopefully the next level of tax compression will make that maybe not even noticeable to you on your school taxes and so forth. So anyway, baseball complex coming soon. One of the things I love to talk about are our successes in Lufkin. We love to count the number of national merit, both finalists, commended, and our national Hispanic recognition. You see those numbers there. Our band just won the state military marching band competition, so they are the state champions. We have an accounting team, which I'll show you here in a minute. Last year, our robotics team went to the world competition, and it's funny, they ended up being paired with other groups from other countries, and it was a truly unique experience, and you'll see a picture of them in a minute. Of course, we have an all-state choir, and for the past 2 years, we've sent someone to state in cross-country. Here's that accounting team that went to state last year. And I want you to look in the middle at our legacy. I'm going to call her the legacy sponsor. This is Janice Holcomb. And, so many times what you do in schools are as successful as the people who are running them. She is determined and she is competitive. And for the past 10 years, this her group has gone to state. They've won the silver medal 3 times and the gold medal in 2018, and she'll be back again because she is that determined. These are the kids here in this picture that you want to come back and work in Lufkin to be doing your books and accountants and so forth, because they are truly awesome. But again, she's our legacy sponsor there. This is unique, and we didn't think to look at it this way until we just started talking about it. In Lufkin ISD, we've had 4 state championships in 4 different sports. A little more spread out than we might want them to be, but we have won state in baseball, football, soccer, and basketball. And when you call the UIL to ask them about that, they will tell you that this phenomenon has only happened 3 times in the state. There are 3 schools that can say that they have a state championship in 4 different sports. Those are Duncanville, South Lake Carroll, and Lufkin ISD. It doesn't mean that you've won you still have won the football championship 4 times or 3 times, but to have won a state championship in 4 different sports is 3 in the state. So we're proud of that. Mr. Muehlbach, this is for you. I thought the group might be interested, when you talk about legacy, you talk about football programs, beginning as early as the former Dunbar High School, which was the African American high school that became integrated in 1970, and carrying on with the Lufkin High School graduates. These are the number of pro football players that we have produced. Now, there are 3 at the top there that we're watching very closely because they're currently playing: Kiki Kuti, Eric McCoy, and of course our own Don Muehlbach. Don, I think that's very appropriate that he's in action right there. We can't see his face, but he's doing what he loves and what he's good at. So there you go. But that's a pretty prestigious list there. Let's talk about our programs. Some of the programs that we're very, very proud of course, our early college high school has its 2nd cohort right now. We are designated in the state. To do that, you have to follow new rules and new guidelines to be designated, and we're proud that we are. We've inducted our 6th cohort into the SFA STEM Academy. We have a dual language program that's been around for longer, I think 27 years now. We just celebrated not long ago our 25th anniversary. This is a program you have to join at kindergarten, and half a day you learn in English and half a day you learn in Spanish. So these children learn science and social studies in Spanish and English and math in English. We have an everyday, all-day gifted and talented program. We have a dyslexia practitioner on every single primary, elementary, middle school campus there, who helps both diagnose children with problems and provide reading interventions for students, and they help the teachers know how to deliver those. We're very proud of our dual credit program. As you'll see in a minute, we are an instructional site for Angelina College. We have 22 AP classes that we offer. In our primary and elementary, we have what we call young scholars that come together for enrichment, uniting arts and science, and that's taught by Lisa Hagland. We're very proud of our Elementary Honor Society. Joseph Caesar, if you know him, is currently doing a program at Lufkin Middle School called Generation A. It's kind of, a junior achievement, but taken to the next level, where he takes a group of students and they form a company. And what they're doing is they're banking their rewards and their profits from their company to become a fund to give them a scholarship when they graduate. So they start in 6th grade and they continue to be together and put away money after a little seed money has been developed. And when they graduate, they'll be able to partake of a small scholarship there. And on February 3rd, we have an event for our African American parents to come and learn about how to get their students involved in advanced academics. And in November, we just had our event that is completely conducted in Spanish, Evento en Español, for our Hispanic parents. Let's talk about our community partnerships. Here's the picture when we were inaugurating our sign in front of Lufkin High School. to designate that we are an instructional site for Angelina College. What that means is that our students can take any course that we offer in dual credit while on the high school campus. They do not have to go to Angelina College. And because we are an instructional site, if I find a teacher who is certified by them as adjunct, we can begin to offer another course beyond what the core is. And Southern Association has approved us as that site. So if we want to start a course next semester, we have a teacher, we can begin to offer it without asking permission. And that was important for us to do that. So they hire our Lufkin ISD faculty and staff to be adjunct, and they have all of those credits on the campus. Our STEM Academy, these students, from 9th grade through 12th grade, they go every 3 weeks to SFA, to their STEM center, where they participate in experiments. And what we're doing is uniting the math and the science curriculum, and how does that help a student in real life. So here's a picture of some of us in action there at SFA. Lockheed Martin, this is the team that went to World Championship Robotics last year. And in the back there, you'll see a lot of the engineers from Lockheed Martin. Anthony Pittman is back there somewhere, the president of Lockheed Martin here. We're excited that we're about to begin a new partnership with Lockheed Martin called Project Lead the Way. We will be teaching an advanced course in computer science, and that should roll out in the next school year, and we're very excited about that. That means we'll have engineers in the classrooms helping our students, and we'll be doing things out at Lockheed Martin with them. So we are very excited about that. Georgia Pacific is a huge supporter in our career and technology department. They are there helping our students go to state. They're also there interviewing and hiring students as they graduate to come to work, and they are helping them to go to school later on. So we want you to choose Lufkin ISD. And hopefully we've answered some of your questions. If not, this table right here is my cabinet and other people, and we will hang around later if you have a question or anything that you would like to ask us or find out about Lufkin ISD. On your tables, we've put some of our remaining prior Christmas gifts to staff. We have also put a little notepad, and we've put a flyer telling you that on February the 6th at Lufkin High School, you can come and learn about all the ways that you can enroll your child in Lufkin ISD or participate in some of these advanced programs. If you're going to be in the STEM Academy or the early college high school, there is an application process. There is an application process for dual language and for gifted and talented. Those applications will be handed out on February the 6th, and that begins our course request and our testing period for those special programs. It's also the time when your student will be making course selections and program decisions about what they're going to take in the 2021 school year. And yes, that starts as early as January, because it takes us that long with 7,100 students to know where everybody's going to go and for them to have a private meeting with their counselor. So we hope you take advantage of that, and we will be here to answer any other questions. It is a pleasure to serve in Lufkin ISD. You know I would do it. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it there. Not very often would a little old woman be able to work in a place for 44 years.
It's a good day to be a Panther.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Torres. It's also a great day to celebrate our Business Hall of Fame, and we could not do all of these events without our sponsors. We'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, the Lufkin Economic Development Corporation. Gold sponsor is Loggins Plumbing, and silver sponsor, Merrill Lynch. Would you please help me thank all of them? And at this time, I'd like to welcome Bob Sanford with the LEDC to say a few words as the presenting sponsor.
Thank you, Tara. It's an honor to be here today and represent the Lufkin Economic Development Corporation. One thing of note is I would like to say that I think right now is the highest level of cooperation between the Lufkin Economic Development Corporation and the Chamber of Commerce. Tara and I meet on a very frequent basis, and the corporation is due largely in part to Tara and her leadership at the Chamber. So let's give Tara a hand. So thank you for the opportunity to sponsor the event. It's I think Lufkin is headed in the right direction. I think we're making monumental shifts in our perception to other businesses in other states, and that's proven out by our success in the last 18 months. And I don't see any reason for that to stop. We're going to be making more announcements shortly, and I think the future is very bright for Lufkin from a business perspective. And with that, I will turn it over to Tara for the Business Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Angelina County Business Hall of Fame program is designed to honor a past prominent business leader or leaders who have made extraordinary contributions to Lufkin, Angelina County, and have earned the respect of the local community. To be considered as a Hall of Fame laureate, an individual's record of business achievement must demonstrate excellence in the following general categories: business excellence, entrepreneurial spirit, courageous thinking and action, inspiring leadership, community impact, positive role model, enduring accomplishments, and local influence. The Hall of Fame laureates are individuals whose work moved Lufkin and Angelina County community in a better and stronger direction. They were an unlikely business quartet: a German immigrant, an Irish storekeeper, and two Jewish brothers. But in 1900, Joseph H. Kurth, Simon W. Henderson, and Sam and Eli Weiner pooled their business resources together to create the Angelina and Neches River Railroad. It wasn't much of a railroad in the beginning. 2 wood-burning, narrow-gauge steam locomotives and 10 miles of logging tramway, jointly operated by the Angelina County Lumber Company and the railroad through a lease arrangement. Little did they know that in 100 years, however, the Angelina and Neches River Railroad would become as much of a part of Lufkin's economy as the paper, the foundry products, and the oil-filled equipment that was shipped weekly on its rails. When the ANRR received its charter from the state of Texas in 1900, none of its founders knew as much about railroading as the Weiners. Railroad work was embraced by Samson Weiner, the German-born patriarch of the family. Born May 25, 1834 in Germany, Samson came by ship to the United States in 1856. On the ship, he met a lovely lady named Caroline, and they were married in 1860. Samson and Caroline had 4 sons and 2 daughters, 2 of them being Sam and Eli, whom we are honoring today. Sam and Eli embraced the railroading profession of their father, becoming accomplished telegraphers. Sam and his wife Tilly settled in Monroe, Louisiana, but while in Corrigan, he formed a great friendship with 2 businessmen, Joseph Kurth, who operated a small sawmill near Corrigan, and S.W. Henderson, a partner in a general mercantile store in Corrigan. The 3 men, all from different backgrounds and cultures, formed a close friendship, and when the Kurth family migrated to Kelties, he summoned his old friends from Corrigan to join him in his new adventure. Sam Weiner moved his family to Kelties, and when he became a partner in the sawmill, but lived there only a short time due to his wife developing tuberculosis and having to move her to a drier climate in Kerrville. However, to safeguard the family's interest in the Angelina Lumber Company, now one of the leading lumber producers in Texas, Sam asked his younger brother Eli to move to Kelties and manage their interest. After moving, the Kurth and Henderson families gave Eli a third of their stock, thus Eli becoming a 4th partner in the companies. Eli was only in his 20s when he joined the Kurth and Henderson families in the lumber business, first serving as their secretary and eventually becoming the manager of the company as his partners grew more confident in his business skills. On many days, Eli's went about the business of running the company from his first floor office at Kelties, while Mr. Kurth and Mr. Henderson played cards upstairs. I loved that. One reason the lumber company escaped bankruptcy of the Great Depression of the 1930s was that Eli cautioned his partners not to play in the stock market. Listening to his advice, the Kurth, Hendersons, and Wieners stayed out of the market, and none of them sustained significant losses. As a result of his business skills, Eli had enough cash on hand in the midst of the Depression to purchase a huge lumber company in Dallas. Even though Sam had moved to Shreveport in 1907, he remained the director of the Angelina Neches River Railroad until his death in 1942. He also served as vice president between 1923 and 1942. Today, we are honored to induct Sam and Eli Wiener into our Business Hall of Fame. This beautiful plaque reads, pull it out. That's pretty. Eli Wiener was chairman of the board and founder of the Wiener Lumber Company and played a prominent part in the Southwest lumber circles. He was a founder of the Southern Pines Association of New Orleans, a trade association of manufacturers of yellow pine, and founder and director of the Lufkin Foundry and Machine Company. Eli was also one of the founders of the Angelina and Neches River Railroad and was active in Masonic work. Sam Wiener began his career as a telegrapher and a station agent in Mississippi, working for the Illinois Central Railroad. He was one of the organizers of the Angelina County Lumber Company and the Lufkin Foundry. And we are honored to induct both of the brothers today, so thank you very much. His family could not be here today. I don't know what just happened. I lost battery. But his family could not be here today, but Mr. Miller is here, and we're so excited to have you. He's a very good family friend from Houston, and we're thrilled that you drove up from Houston to join us today. So thank you for being here. I think the battery went dead. I'm a loud talker. We do have some announcements, though. Our sponsorship campaign is currently in progress. Be sure to get your business involved in sponsoring an event program for 2020. The Chamber of Commerce, as you know, is a nonprofit 501c6, and we rely on the support of our investors. Be sure to call the Chamber today before 5 if you'd like to secure your 10% discount on any First Friday, Business After 5, or Power Networking breakfast sponsorships. It's our way to celebrate Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but you have to call before 5 if you want to be a part of any of that and receive a discount. Our Rise and Grind New Investor Orientation is Friday, December 13th at 8 a.m. We would love to have any of our new investors join us. Our next First Friday, it's hard to believe, will be January. It's the State of the City with our mayor, and that luncheon will be held at the Pitzer Garrison Convention Center. So we'll send out reminders not to show up here that day, but to show up at the Convention Center. Mark your calendar for January 24th. It's the Chamber's 100th anniversary celebration and annual Chamber banquet. It will not be your typical Chamber banquet. I promise it will be less than 2 hours long and will culminate with a giant 100th birthday party because you only get to turn 100 once. We're very excited to have several new partners. Pilgrims has joined us as the presenting sponsor for the birthday bash, and we will be excited. We've got the Pictures Band coming from Austin, so it's going to be a great celebration. Power Networking Breakfast is presented by ServPro Lufkin, South Nacogdoches County in January, and the sponsor is Holiday Travel, and that will be on Friday, January 31st at Mitt Williams & Son. And I am so excited. If I could have Ashley Berry join me. Did you fix me, Fisher? Awesome. Give Fisher a round of applause. Thank you, Fisher. Thank you. You know, it's always nice to have a secret weapon. And my new secret weapon is Ashley Berry. She is going to be joining the Chamber part-time in January as our new Director of Leadership Programs. And we could not be more excited to welcome Ashley to our team and to all that you can clap for her. It's great. She's going to be taking over Leadership Tomorrow, Leadership Lufkin, Leadership Alumni. We're going to be building the alumni program. I cannot wait to start that. And we're actually looking at developing a new Leadership Lufkin 2.0 to be able to give you more opportunities to increase your leadership skills, not only to take back to your personal lives, but also implement into your professional lives. So I thought I'd give Ashley a few minutes to say something.
Hi, how are you guys? I'm looking around the room and I can look at Ms. Torres and say that I wouldn't be the leader that I am today without your leadership.
You're so sweet. Now I'm really gonna cry.
Don't cry. But there's so many amazing leaders, Tara, who I have over the last 10 years just watched from afar. I think that I can accredit a lot of my success to a lot of the leaders who are in the room today. And I'm not about coming into the chamber and changing a lot of things that are already taking place, because I think that past leaders have developed amazing programs that we have through the chamber. We want to enhance those. And with the partnership with myself and Tara here at the chamber, I promise to make sure that that's something that happens. And I look forward to working with each leader that's represented in this room, that is all of you, because we are all leaders in our own way. And I cannot wait to connect with you leaders on a different level here in Lufkin. Thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you.
There's good things coming. It's really exciting. You will also be able, when you come to the chamber banquet, Tara Hendricks and I have worked really hard. You're going to have the date of every single event, every single networking opportunity, every single speaker. You're going to be able to put who's speaking, the date, and what it's about, because we are trying to bring you more educational tools to be able to take back. And we want you to know that the chamber is here for you, we are here for your businesses, and we are here for our community. And so we're really excited to be able to present our entire year of lineup at our banquet. So it's going to be a good 2020 year. We are going to do an on-time drawing, and I'm going to let Ms. Torres draw it. Terry Martin's not here to win it today, so that's good. He wins at everything. How about Bonnie Denman? I know she's here. Yeah. Miss Bonnie, $100 is in the mail. I'm serious. Merry Christmas. Thank y'all for coming. Have a Merry Christmas.